we have up here? We have some warrens going down over here. That's even more squirrels. So I'm going to say Voltic is doing pretty well for himself right now. Their army values are about equal. And actually we're getting some ferret pressure going on at the main right now. This engagement is not great for dancing, although the squirrels are running right through that skunk gas, and they're just kind of sitting there. Voltic, you gotta get those squirrels out of that skunk gas. So a bit of a stumble from blue there. You can see that army value plummeting. And if those skunks can get onto those pigs, then the pigs can't move out of the way, so they're just gonna die. Again, lots of gas down here, so maybe this all tier 2s is gonna work for dancing in this particular match. We will see. Again, 12 squirrels are gonna be out for Voltic. 2 chameleons for dancing. You can see they're hanging out there with that army. Chameleons aren't great for prolonged combat because they strike so slowly. They're better at maybe sneaking around one side and taking out some economy and harass. But maybe they could force an opponent to take an engagement that's not great for them and then be surprising. We'll see. Let's see if Voltic can keep his squirrels out of the gas there. That was a much better engagement. Keep them on that high ground. Don't let them go into that gas. Because with a lot of tier 1s, you're just gonna die. Here we go. 7 farms to 6. Dancing has 7. Voltic has 6. So Dancing has a slight economic advantage, as he should. Or she. I don't want to presume. Here we go, though. Army out of place for Dancing. Voltic coming in is going to wreck this main. Which is going to drop Dancing's food down a lot. So that main is down, which means those warrens are a little bit unprotected. Here come the skunks, but again, skunks, you gotta have them out. Alright, well, I take that back. You gotta move those squirrels out of that skunk fog. If you just leave them there, they're gonna die over time. Again, that's 1 damage per second whenever you leave a unit in that skunk fog. And here we go, Dancing's just gonna start putting down skunk fire on these pigs. And actually, if you wanted to, you could let them fire and then walk away and keep getting the eco up. Dancing, dying there, maybe a little bit of a mistake. Now those skunks are just sitting there, and they're sitting ducks. Although there's so much skunk gas around right now that it might not matter. Voltic actually is on 1 farm right now. Again, the mains are all mined out. Both persons' mains. We're at 7 minutes. After 5 minutes, those first 4 initial farms are going to be farmed out. And then around, again, about 7 minutes, depending on how quickly you put your farms down, the rest of your original farms will be gone. So we'll see. Dancing has a huge economic advantage right now. Voltic is actually starving. Well, he's got 1 farm out right now, so he's not quite starving, but he has no economy. Dancing can just bleed Voltic out right now, which is surprising to me. Let's see if he can play this engagement smart. Not a lot of units left for Dancing. Voltic's got to use his units really well. Try and use them economically. Actually, the army values are probably about even now. Again, Dancing just kind of has to bleed it out. He's even taken another expansion down here. But Dancing has a fully farming base. Voltic has 1 farm. So definitely Dancing, if you can do a little bit of scouting and see how little farm he's on, all you need to do is pump out some squirrels and you're good. That 1 farm only gives 1 food per second. But Dancing is bringing out a tier 3. Alright. Dancing, you do whatever your little heart desires. You can bring out that tier 3 and that'll make it a more interesting match anyway. So Voltic here is pretty screwed. Did sell some buildings over there. Definitely should probably sell those mines. There's no reason to have mines out anymore. And that extra 20 food will give you a little bit of extra farm. But at this point, again, the game is heavily in Dancing's favor. Although I don't know why he would put that warren up there. There are much safer places to put it. Voltic on just now 3 farms. Again, that's not a good place to leave your lizards. Because once those lizards are gone, all you have is 2 ferrets, and you're screwed. Pull those ferrets back. Pull them back. Let them hit from a distance. Ferrets are great siege units, kind of like siege tanks. They have no splash damage with those cannons, so they rely on people just kind of standing there and taking that fire. But here we go. Voltic has lost his last farm, which means after 60 seconds he's going to starve. And I think he knows it. There's that boar there, standing there with his flamethrower. 2 last lizards out, coming to try and reinforce. Dancing, just end the game. There's no reason for you to keep trying to kill the commander. Voltic has no food. That's alright though. So again, this game pretty much it was a little back and forth. You could see in the middle there, every dip is an engagement. And Dancing was pretty down at some points, so Voltic definitely had some good engagements, using his units effectively, trading well. But again, I think Voltic leaving some of his squirrels in that skunk fog was a major downfall. Again, that fog does 1 damage per second, so the longer you leave your units there, the weaker they're going to get. And I think his entire army just died standing in skunk fog. So we'll see. Dancing has 9 farms, Voltic is on 2. Voltic had an extra expansion up here, but this game is definitely over. All Dancing needs to do is charge forward and take out Voltic's bases. There's one. Dancing, you can just charge in now. It's fine. Those mines won't even hurt you. All I need to do is take out that last windmill. Maybe they just want to play tag for a little bit. That's fine. If you're just joining, this is Tooth and Tail, which is in development by Pocket Watch Games. The commanders can't hurt each other, which is why I call it tag. Only your units can hurt eeach other, so there's really no reason to follow the other commander around unless you want to kind of scout what's going on. So Dancing is seeing that Voltic has no farms, has no units, literally nothing on the field besides 2 landmines right there. And here he goes, gonna bring his units in and end this game. Let's see how many are taken out. Ooh, actually none of them are taken out. And that's the game. So GG, well done. Well done, Dancing. Let's take a look at these graphs at the end here. Army value again, Dancing shooting up at that last bit there. But otherwise, there's some good up and downs in there, some good engagements. Voltic actually has the advantage in military structures for a while, until the end. And economic structures, I'm actually surprised. Again, towards that end is what you would expect to have that higher economic value for Dancing. And then food, Dancing having a lot of spikes here. You want to try and spend your food efficiently, so Voltic's actually spending a lot more efficiently towards that bottom there. So here we go. This isn't quite what I wanted. Let's try and jump back into that game. There we go. I think I jumped in there in time. We'll see. See if I have to speed it up at all. No. Okay, great. Alright, so we are in game now. Dancing Voltic game 2. This is an interesting map. It looks like the entire south here, there's no reason to go down there. It's just empty space. So all the fights are going to take place up here in the north, fighting over all these bases. Both players have some great options for expand, for natural expansions. I will say, though, that this section of cliffs here is going to be really advantageous for Dancing. If you can put some turrets up there, or even just squirrels up there, they'll be able to protect these 2 windmills if Voltic decides to take them. So we'll see what both players do. Dancing actually with some very early lizards. It's 5 farm lizards. It's a very intense rush build. And Voltic has got to get over here to scout it, to have something to try and combat it. Getting his own squirrels out, I don't know if it's going to be in time. Dancing, you got to take those squirrels and go right now. Because if Voltic can fend off the first initial rush, it'll be pretty much over for Dancing, because Voltic will have the economic advantage. So there you go. Voltic has scouted that. He's going back. Let's see what he does. He has 2 squirrels out yet right now. He's got some landmines. He's got to, at this point actually, we'll see. Alright, now we got 6 squirrels, or 6 lizards to 4 squirrels, 5 squirrels. Even that's not enough. Again, an equal number of squirrels and lizards. And there they go, right into that economic line. Dancing, you could just leave them on an economic line and let them go to town. That's okay. Don't let them get trapped back here. There's nowhere to go down here, Dancing. Excuse me. There we go. Voltic throwing down some pigeons. Pigeons aren't great in the current iteration of the game. Their heals do not stack. They heal at about one health per second, but the maximum heal any one unit can have is 1. So you could have 60 pigeons on one giant boar, and the boar is still going to heal at 1 per second. But that's okay. We'll see how it works out for him. Dancing now has 9 lizards, and you should really push that army. That's okay. Putting down a turret, I guess he's going to go for the economic game, but really, Dancing has the advantage in army value right now, because those pigeons have no attack at all. So 6 squirrels against 9 lizards. The squirrels are going to absolutely obliterate it, especially with that turret there. Let's see if, hopefully Voltic doesn't get caught in that turret trap. And here's the engagement. Those lizards are going to go to town, barely losing any lizards. And Dancing should take advantage of this right now. Again, Voltic has no units out in the field. I mean, I guess he has 2 squirrels now, but could easily be overwhelmed. But it looks like Dancing's content to just kind of sit back here and play the economic game, which is fine. Let's see if either player can do some scouting. Try to see what the other player is doing. Dancing on 10 farms, Voltic on 2. That's an interesting choice to build up here. Again, that's where that high ground will come into play. If Dancing can put the squirrels up there, they can just pick out those farms. Dancing getting out some snakes now. Snakes do poison damage, so once a unit is poisoned, it'll take 1 damage per second until it dies. Voltic is going for ferrets and getting out some lizards of his own. Ferrets are, again, great siege units. They'll be able to take out these turrets, so that's a good response. As long as he can keep his units back and just let those ferrets take down those turrets. Again, they're a little too close to those turrets, but I guess they serve as a meat shield there. Here we go. Those lizards are going to come in and wreck those squirrels. And maybe even those ferrets, too. Pulling off that engagement, he really didn't have to pull off of that engagement. He definitely had the advantage there. Voltic going for that safe expansion. Gonna leave that hidden one up here. We'll see if Dancing can scout that out before too much longer. Dancing on 13 farms, Voltic on 12. Let's see. Voltic definitely has an advantage in army value. But again, some of that is in pigeons, which have no attack value. Dancing is going to throw up a lot of barbed wire. That's an interesting choice. Going to block down any movement to this base. Although, on this map, there's so much empty space, you could just go around through this water. Going to throw up some turrets there. That'll be a good defense. Voltic, the only thing Voltic has that can attack this barbed wire, is lizards. And actually, he's got 9 lizards now, so that barbed wire isn't going to be too much of a problem. Although there are 3 turrets behind, but again, Voltic has those ferrets. We could just kind of float those ferrets in the back lines, and And Voltic throwing down some mines there just in case Dancing decides to jump in front. Dancing is going to take this expansion down here for a third. Although he hasn't quite fleshed out his natural expansion yet. Here we go, Voltic on 13 farms now. Again, we're past that 5-minute mark, so the initial farms are starting to get farmed out. Each farm only lasts about 5 minutes. And Voltic putting down a tier 3. He's got that wolf. Gonna have a wolf coming out. Wolf gives your entire army a buff for about 5 seconds, and then there's a 10-second cooldown. So this army is gonna absolutely devastate Dancing, because Dancing's just focusing on eco, getting that third base up. But his lizards are gonna get wrecked. That's good. Smart to pull out of that engagement there. Those pigeons are going to help with getting the army back up to full health. Units do heal by themselves. You can see these lizards over here are slowly healing back up, but those lizards will get it up a little bit faster. Oh, get that wolf away. Don't let that wolf die to turret fire. When you're facing a wolf, it's very important to try and time the buffs. So if you can bring out some sort of shield unit to trigger that buff early and then pull them back, you want to engage the army when they're not buffed. Because if they're buffed, your army is going to melt before you. But if your opponent's army is just finished their buff, so after 5 seconds, you're going to have a big advantage there. So let's see, both players have third bases out. 13 farms to 15. Dancing has 15. There's that. Oh, that's a glitch. Your commander is not supposed to trigger that wolf buff. Dancing just gonna go get out of there. Don't let yourself die to that. And that was not a good place for Dancing to be. Again, all of Voltic's units are buffed now, so Dancing's army is just gonna melt. Dancing taking a huge hit here. He's got his own wolf out, but all he's got is 3 toads. Toads explode for crowd control damage. There go those pigeons, doing lots of heal. And actually, it's interesting. Pigeons do 1 heal per second, and snakes do 1 damage per second. So as long as those lizards have pigeons around, they'll stay alive, but not for too long. Here we go. Voltic with that high ground there. If he has any kind of range, he can just kind of sit up there and let those ranged units take out Dancing's army, and that's exactly what happened. Voltic in a huge advantage right here. Unless those toads can connect. Oh, let go of the trigger. Alright, that wolf is down. So Dancing now has the advantage. The advantage is switched. Let's see how this goes. We're getting a little bit of network lag here. And Voltic, you gotta let go of the trigger and let your army go to work. This is a big mess right here. Snakes just kind of hanging out in the middle there, trying to poison everyone they can. I can't tell who's winning. Looks like Voltic is winning at the moment in terms of army value. Dancing on more farms though. And here you go, Dancing bringing out a lot of units into that third base. Doing a lot of economic damage. Voltic only on 5 farms now, so Dancing is really far ahead. In the meantime, Voltic is slowly picking away at some of these units over here, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Those pigeons are a little out of position. They're going to get taken out by anything that has range. A lot of back and forth here. Voltic's army completely gone now. Partly due to those turrets, partly due to the fact that Dancing has so many resources. 400 food he's sitting on. And here we go, Dancing has now spotted that third base up there, which is going to be taken out. So there's three more farms that are going to go down. Here come the squirrels. Here come the lizards. Voltic is on no farms now, so he's got to sell some stuff if he wants to keep doing anything. Sitting on 0 food. But here comes Dancing's army to finish off the job. There's 2 pigeons out for Voltic right now. So this game is pretty much over. It's definitely over. And here goes that last windmill coming down right now. GG. Dancing with a fairly... actually, that's from behind. I wasn't expecting that. Voltic definitely with the better trades, but towards the end there, just kind of losing a lot of the momentum he was carrying through. Pretty even military structures, and Dancing just getting ahead with that eco in the end. So yeah, good game, and it looks like that's going to be it for now. So thank you for joining us, and I will see you all later.